Hello, and welcome to Tales After Dark. This is a podcast that will be filled with scary stories and diving deep into the world's most treacherous cult crimes. Many of the paranormal and let's not meet scary stories heard here are from articles I have found on Reddit. Author information and usernames will always be included in the show notes below each episode. To submit a terrifying tale of your own, please email stories.talesafterdark@gmail.com and make sure to follow /TAD podcast on Reddit for Tales After Dark fan subreddit information. This show is brought to you by the MW Network and produced by me, your host, Emma Dawn. Do you have a podcast or show idea of your own? For more information on the MW Network, visit themommywines.com. Tales After Dark is made possible by our sponsors, the Home Bookkeeper Masterclass. Looking to create a life of balance and financial freedom? Check out how I was able to ditch the 9-to-5 grind and spend more time creating and doing the things I love by becoming a home bookkeeper. More information on the Home Bookkeeper Masterclass can be found on my company website, edjconsultinggroup.com, under Resources. Zaya Active. What's better than curling up in a nice pair of leggings and your Tales After Dark merch sweatshirt and listening to a spooky tale? In my completely biased opinion, not much. Visit myzaya.com/EmmaDawn for premium and affordable men and women's active and loungewear, and make sure to check out the Tales After Dark merch store on teespring.com. If you are a brand and would like to sponsor the Tales After Dark podcast, please get in touch at stories.talesafterdark@gmail.com. Now let's get into today's episode. Hi everyone, and welcome back to another scary story here on Tales After Dark. I am your host, Emma Dawn, and today I have a paranormal story for you titled Axe Woman and a Dark Shadow. I love reading these for the first time with all of you, but I do like to find stories that have tons of good comments or have been pushed up in the Reddit. This one is from Paranormal, and I'm super excited because this one had some pretty good comments. If you want to find this story and many more like it, I will have the link to this story and the author's information, as always, in the show notes below. So let's go ahead and get into the story. Axe Woman and a Dark Shadow. For a bit of context, my mom is a psychic medium, and for as long as I can remember, I've always scratched myself in my sleep. I've never thought anything of it. It's usually been on my legs or arms, and I don't stop until I'm bleeding. Of course, I never realize until the morning. Kind of strange since, until very recently, I obsessively bit my nails, and I only had stubs. I've lived in my house for 6 years and have never really noticed anything strange. Last year I started to notice I was scratching my ribs and on my back, places that I have no idea how I would reach, especially when I laid in bed. I spoke to my mom and she gave me a protection prayer to say before bed. The scratching didn't stop. Fast forward to earlier this year, pre-COVID. I've never had any night terrors or sleep paralysis of any kind. This dream, I think it was a dream, I'm not entirely sure. My bedroom is right opposite of the bathroom. In this dream, a woman stood in the doorway of the bathroom. She was holding an axe, had messy hair, and was wearing an apron. I don't really remember what her face looked like, or any features apart from that. but there was this large, dark shadow behind her. She just stood there, grinning at me. Now, in this dream, I was laying in bed, asleep, and I'd woken up. I screamed, but no one heard me, and I was just laying there crying. When I woke up in the morning, I had actually been crying, and my mom mentioned she heard me crying, but it didn't click. She felt pretty bad about it. The next night, I had a very similar dream, but this time, she stood closer in the corner of my room, still grinning, holding an axe. This morning, I decided to tell my mom about the dreams, and she didn't really know what to say. This happened on a Friday. That weekend, I was staying with my boyfriend. Nothing happened at his house. The Xbox turned on by itself a few times, which is strange, but not sinister. Me and my sister joked that I'm haunted. Last night I had a dream where the woman was in my room. She stood right next to my bed. I don't even know how to describe how I felt. I was completely frozen and terrified. The following day, my mom rang me, telling me she got a desk for my room. When I asked why she told me that, she had an instinct. The desk is now in the corner of my room where the woman was standing. And since then, the dreams have stopped. And so has the scratching. I don't know if it's a comforting thing or what. The only experience I had since when I was going to work at the desk and I felt someone pulling on my hair. Okay. That's a pretty terrifying story. If that happened to me, I don't even know what I would do. I would freak out. I would move, 100%. But one of the reasons I love reading paranormal stories is that they are typically experiences. So knowing that happened to someone, super weird. If you liked hearing this story and you want to hear more, make sure to leave a rating and review. If you have something you want to let me know, go ahead and leave a voice memo, and you might hear it in one of the upcoming episodes. The link to leave a voice memo is in the show notes below. And until next time, stay spooky.